Hi everyone and welcome to Season 1, Episode 13 of From Hope to Glory at Truro City with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So we've reached the end of the first season, one game left to play, and it's the playoff final against Witton. Can we do it? Can we get a positive result in this one-off game and get up in the first season? Let's find out. Welcome to Crunch Time at Truro City, everyone. Great to have you along with me. Just before we get into this particular episode, this is going to be the last one that I release before Christmas. I'm going to have a couple of days off over Christmas. I'll be back next Monday if you're watching these as they drop. So a very happy Christmas to you all. I know it's a strange time at the moment with lots of problems for a lot of people with pandemics and mental health issues and isolation and financial issues and all sorts of stuff. But I do hope that somehow in the midst of it you get to find a little bit of the fun of Christmas and a little bit of joy, whatever that looks like for you. So I wish you a very happy Christmas, and before the new year comes along we've got more of Truro City to come, so we'll talk about the new year a little bit later on. But yeah, for now, a very happy Christmas to you all, and thank you so much for your support in this series so far and for the channel over this last 12 months. It's been an amazing ride and there's so much more to come. So yeah, onwards and upwards, and today it's all about Witton in the playoff final. It's a bit of a mouthful, but we are in the English Regional Premier Division's promotion playoff final. Tier 7 of English football. Can we get up into Tier 6 in the first season? There's been lots happening. We've had a takeover at the club and some money pumped into the balance. We've finished second in the league, but only on goal difference. And now we do get the chance in a one-off game to see if we can get promoted. So let's see how we get on in that. But before we get into the game, I do have a couple of bits of transfer business just to update you on. So if you'll remember, in the last couple of episodes, we've talked a little bit about a lot of our contracts were ending at a point before the end of the season because of how COVID has affected the start and finish point of this particular season. Lots of contracts were ending before we'd finished our games. So I was a bit concerned that a few of them would just leave the club and walk away and not be around for this particular fixture. So I brought in a couple of bits of backup in the defensive unit specifically, and one of them starts today, but it's these two players, Horton and Morgan. So if we go and have a look at Horton, he's coming from Cheltenham on a free transfer, and the reason that I went and got this guy now rather than waiting is one, as I say, I needed potential cover, but two, this guy is fairly decent for the level we're playing at, and he's only 19 years of age. There's a lot that he can improve on, absolutely there is, but the thing that I really want that he can offer is more pace. We really lack pace in the defensive unit, and this guy helps to potentially change that a little bit. So he comes in and will be on the bench today, but look for him next season to get a bit of a run out here and there and see how he gets on. The only thing that you would ask for a little bit more of are things, a little bit maybe more heading, a little bit more stamina and strength. But other than that, I think he's reasonably good for the level we're playing at. So Grant Horton comes into the club. And the second one, who will start the game today, his debut game is in the playoff final, is Jamie Morgan. And that's because he's a better right fullback than the two that we have in the club currently. And again, he was brought in not because he's the finished article, even at this level. There are things that he could improve on, but because he's decent enough and he's got a lot more pace than what we've currently got in our squad. So those are the main reasons why we brought him in at this point, along with the need to cover some positions. And he will start the game today against Witton in the playoff final. So here we are on our tactical page in our normal setup of our 4-2-3-1 route one type play. We try and get it early up to the front guy. He'll hold it up, not a high line. If we go and look at out of possession, you can see it's a standard line. So we're trying to get him a little bit earlier on the ball to then get runners in behind him that he can feed the ball onto. That's the plan anyway. So today you can see that Morgan is in the starting lineup, which means that Shane White drops to the bench, and that's a positive. We've got a better right back, I think. It's just about today a bit of a gamble, just because he's not quite used to playing with the squad yet. We've got a couple of players that have got a little bit low in conditioning, but that's because we've played like 40 games this season, and we've reached the end of a very hard, long campaign, and they're all a little bit tired. But we need one more performance out of them. Can we get it today? So nothing changes of the tactic and the formation and the style of play. There's one change in the starting lineup, one on the bench. So today, against Witton in the promotional playoff final, we have Hammond in goal, Morgan at right back, Riley Lowe at left back, Murray and Richards in central defence, Allen, Rooney and Harvey in central midfield, Chamberlain on the right, Holmes on the left, and Neil up top with a bench of Horton, White, Dixon, Sangster, Garside, Thompson and Rooney. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So a day like today is all about the fans, so that's what I've used for the team talk. I've pumped my fists and tried to encourage them and cajole the team and said to them that the fans are expecting us to secure promotion. Let's win it for them today and just see if we can find a way to get a really, really good performance out of this team in this amazingly big, high-octane game for the level of football we've been playing at. Doesn't get much bigger than this. We could get promotion to the next tier with a decent win. So let's see if we can do it. Witton, I can't tell you much about them, to be honest. They're going to be playing a 3-5-2 formation, 2 wing backs. So it'll be interesting to see how that matches up to us. And it's a first opportunity for them. And it's a first goal for them. After 6 minutes, the ball from the free kick, very, very straight on to the penalty box, but from quite a distance. And they just lump it over the top. And the defence don't work as quickly as the striking unit does. And it's Fox that gets on the end of the ball and puts it into the back of the net for a 1-0 lead fairly early on. And we've got our work cut out for us all of a sudden, haven't we? Before we've even got going, we find ourselves down and we have to work our way back into this particular game. And so far, there's been nothing to show for it from our point of view. A clearance there, but only partial into midfield. And it's again Witton that pick up the loose ball. And they come down the right-hand side for them, left-hand side. But they find Riley Lowe at left back, too hard to get past. He wins the ball and we've worked it into midfield. Chamberlain takes over, runs at the midfielder, gets past the midfielder and then tries a looping shot over the top of the goalkeeper. Gets the angles wrong a little bit and it goes harmlessly wide, or harmlessly high over the top, should I say. But at least we put a little bit of pressure on. Morgan with a corner kick puts it to the top of that 6-yard box, but there's nobody there for us and the goalkeeper claims it. But then a poor clearance from him puts them under all sorts of pressure early on, and it's Holmes that has the ball on the left-hand side. Is he going to drop it into Harvey? He does. Long shot from Harvey from 30 yards out, 25, 30 yards out, and he puts it all the way along the floor into the bottom corner. And we find ourselves at 1-1 after 35 minutes. The goalkeeper caused them all sorts of problems. Really poor clearance. We picked up the loose ball. Holmes puts it inside to Harvey and he strikes the ball really cleanly along the floor. And it goes into the back of the net for a 1-1 scoreline leading up to the end of the first half. Can we end the first half on a positive and get another one? Here we go with a chance. Harvey out to the new guy, Morgan. Good cross in from Morgan to the far post, but it's partially cleared. Rooney's going to pick up the loose ball and keep the pressure on. Drops it back to Riley Lowe. Long ball over the top, and Neil finds himself on it where he really shouldn't have. The defence just went to complete shambles there, and Neil found himself with the ball at his feet and absolutely blasts the ball home. And from a 1-0 deficit at the very beginning of the first half, at the very end of it, we found ourselves with a 2-1 lead leading into half-time. About a minute to go to the end of the first half. Is there an offside decision here? There isn't, so the goal should stand. And it was just poor defending. They went to sleep and Neil didn't, and took advantage of the situation. And there goes the whistle for the end of the first half. And we go in with a 2-1 lead, which is fantastic. What a brilliant turnaround it is. And you can see in terms of the match stats, we've deserved it as well. Possession is up, shots at goal is up, shots on target is up, XG rating is up. So we've looked pretty good for doing it so far. So we're going with outstretched arms. I'm delighted with your performance. Keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. And then as soon as we go back in, we're going into the shouts and just getting them to focus so they don't lose track of the fact that they've still got to perform well for this second half. Let's see how we get on. And what I'd kind of like is a little bit of a quiet period in this second half, just to bed our lead in a little bit and give us something to fight for and put the pressure firmly on Witton as the second half draws to a close. A good take there from Murray, steps in when the attacking player could have got the ball, wins it, and then Holmes takes over, and a really long shot trying to replicate what Harvey did from that sort of distance. Didn't quite get it right though, and it goes narrowly wide of the goal, and it's Witton with an attack of their own sitting at the top of the penalty box, working the ball very nicely to Jones, and then out wide right to Barthram, and oh no, Riley Lowe dives in with a challenge and has given away a penalty on the 66th minute. Can Hammond keep the ball out? Come on, goalkeeper, can he do it? He can't. He dives the right way. Didn't quite get to the ball though, and we've caused our own problems there with a really poor challenge from Riley Lowe as the attacking player cut into the penalty box. And it was a very calmly taken penalty in the end. Hammond couldn't quite make it. And we are at 2-2 with about 20 minutes to play. So we're going to pause the game there for a moment. Just go into our tactical play page, should I say. And look, we've got some really, really low energy players now and a few yellow cards to worry about as well. So we're going to have to take a couple of these out. So let's take Chamberlain out and bring Thompson on, get rid of that yellow card. We're going to take Rooney out and play Sangster instead to get rid of that low conditioning. We've got one at the back and one up top. I really need Harvey to stay on, really. So I think I might have to make a change at the back just to get some fresh legs in. And we're going to bring the new guy, Horton, in for his debut. Is that going to be a gamble? We're going to have to find out. So here we go into the latter part of the second half. Just go back into the shouts and demand more from them. Just for the last sort of 15 minutes of the game. Corner comes in for us, but it's partially cleared. Holmes will pick up the loose ball and try and rework another opportunity. Does pretty well to get one, but then a really wasteful shot from him on his right foot, when potentially he should have tried to find somebody in a better shooting position, maybe. And we've got 5 minutes to go. It looks like we might be going into extra time, which is not what our players need at all in terms of their energy levels. But we've got maybe one last chance here. Thompson on the ball, sweeps it out wide left to Holmes. Gets past his defender at the first opportunity. Gets back at him though. He's got a defender for company. Drops it back into Sangster and he can't control the ball. Fortunately, Riley Lowe gets enough on the loose ball just to give us a chance at winning it back. And we do have it back, but it's a little bit scrappy. Thompson takes over, drops it into Allen in midfield, and then a poor ball from him means that Dawson for Witton comes back at us, runs straight at our penalty box down the right hand side, has a shot at goal, and whoa, was that a good save or did he hit the crossbar? Either way, it goes out, and we have to go into extra time, and our players are already dead on their feet. Having such a long campaign to go through, this is not how we needed it to end, is it really? We needed to get a decent win in the 90 minutes, but we don't have any choice. So let's go, and we're going to point the finger, and we're saying, let's see what we can do here. Let's go with the assistant manager. The fans are expecting us to secure promotion. Let's reiterate the message. put them straight back out there again. We're not going to put any more on them in terms of shouts just at the moment. They are out on their feet a little bit, but then so are Witton. You can see that all the way round both sides, they're really, really struggling. And it's Alan that gets a good foot in, but then a really poor ball. He could have laid it off a little bit. He went long and it didn't quite work out for him on that occasion. And then we get a little bit lucky in our defensive unit, but we do secure the ball. And then Hammond puts it up front and we do win it. Fortunately, there's Holmes there to pick up that slightly loose ball and run at the defence again. Drops it off to Sangster into Allen. And there's a fantastic shot by Allen, left-footed, powered it at the goalkeeper, who managed to parry it over the top of the bar for a corner kick. And we get another chance from a set piece. Morgan on the set piece to the far post. And it's a brilliant header from a brilliant corner kick from Morgan. Neil rises above the defender at the far post, heads it back across goal and finds the back of the net. And Morgan, the new guy at right fullback, has been taking those corner kicks and doing pretty well with them. He's been playing really well overall. And he's assisted for a goal for Neil, and we go 3-2 up. And we've got a couple of minutes left of the first period of extra time. A ball over the top, and Neil was leaning back on the shot and whacks it over the top of the bar on that occasion, just on the stretch, wasn't he really? But we are now at half-time in extra time, and we've got something to fight for in this last period. A 1-0 advantage. I'm not going to give them any more instructions. They're already doing as good as they can do, I think. And it's Riley Lowe into Holmes. Holmes again runs at the defence, drops it off to Sangster this time. Doesn't quite get the ball, the shot at goal though. And Witton find the loose ball, and they've really got a good attack going down that left-hand side. But again, Morgan, the new guy, covering himself in glory in all sorts of ways today. His average rating is only 6.7, but he's been everywhere and done loads of stuff. I was hoping for a better rating for that sort of performance, really. But it's Harvey on the ball into Allen. Thompson takes over, and Morgan made the run, made the defenders think that he was going to pass it off, but he didn't. He swiveled and took a shot, and it went narrowly wide of the goal. And we've got about 6 or 7 minutes left of the game. Can we hold on to this promotion charge? Holmes takes the ball from the goalkeeper onto Sangster and Neil, but then a loose ball again and gives Witton one more chance at us. Richards with a nibble at the ball but doesn't quite win it. And then a shot at goal from distance from Nathan Fox. And they find the back of the net with 5 minutes to go. I love a really raking low ball, low shot at goal, and a good strike, and the goalkeeper scrambles but doesn't get close enough to it. And he gets it out of his feet, powers it left-footed at the goal, and it finds that bottom corner. And with 5 minutes to go, we're now at 3-3. Another chance for us. The chances are coming thick and fast, aren't they? Morgan with another chance for a cross on that right-hand side. Dinks it into Harvey, and Sangster gets a shot, but it's blocked by defender. There's another follow-up shot, which is blocked again. Cross comes back in, and then the loose ball reaches the left-hand side for Holmes, drops it back to Riley Lowe. Cross back again, and this time it's Thompson on that far post on the right-hand side who gets a header at goal, and it just about squeezes in, and we go 4-3 with now 3 minutes to go. Loads of attempts there, loads of good blocks from the Witton defence. Eventually though, Holmes drops it back to Riley Lowe, spots Thompson at that far post, and the reason it squeezes in is because the goalie gets a hand to it but can't claw it out, and we look like we are moments away from getting promoted. Witton on the ball though, with seconds left. Sangster steps in, wins the ball for us. Now keep hold of it. Up to Neil. He drops it into Holmes. So you'll notice that the game is paused with seconds left because we got a knock on the door and the post arrived just as I was getting to the climax, and I didn't want to miss anything, so I paused the game, and we'll have to pick it up from this point. There are seconds left. It might just be the final whistle, but just at the moment the ball has gone forward, I think from Riley Lowe. Can we get onto the end of it? Let's find out. So the ball over the top, Neil runs onto it, holds the play up really nicely, shoots at goal, and we get a 5th goal in the dying seconds with a 2-goal lead. Surely that does it. They've got got no time to come back into the game with that sort of deficit now. And it was a fantastic first ball over the top from Riley Lowe, and Neil picks up the ball, swivels, and then catches everybody out by a long shot instead of passing the ball off, which you may have expected. And is there an offside? There's not an offside, so it looks like the goal will stand. And we are going to get promoted in our first season. And there we go. The final whistle goes. We've absolutely dominated a lot of that game. Possession was high. Shots at goal. We had 23 shots at goal. Only 8 on target though. But we found enough to get a 5-3 win after extra time. And Truro City get promoted. So here is the confirmation of that. Truro win in Regional Premier Division promotion playoff final. 5-3 on aggregate. Not on aggregate, after extra time should I say. So we get to celebrate. There's lots going on. Promoted to the Vanarama North South. So that's going to be a fun season in Tier 6 next season. Seeing if we can hold our own there and potentially continue to move this club forward. What an absolute day it was for Morgan making his debut. Horton makes his debut in the centre of defence and does reasonably well in the last few seconds of the game. But Morgan, I was expecting a much better rating for his performance. In the end, he got a 7 rating, which I still think is pretty low considering he had a hand in all sorts of stuff that was going on. But it was absolutely phenomenal performance late in the game after going forward in terms of getting a goal or two here and there and then being reeled back in occasionally. We eventually opened up that gap and got exactly what we were after. So this coming season, do you remember we had that takeover and we've got a very, very good bank balance. The board have set us an initial budget of 15 grand on transfers and a good healthy transfer budget of 873 grand, and then 15 grand for this coming season's wage budget, which is a huge step up in where we have been. So it completely changes how we can move this club forward. 800 grand to spend on transfers in Tier 6 with 15 grand in the wage budget. We're currently only spending about 5 grand on wages. So you can see there's a huge amount of money to play with at this level of football. And we're going to have a lot of fun trying to figure out this squad over the summer. So I hope you'll join me for next season just to see how we go in Tier 6 of English football. Can we continue the promotion chase? Can we do it again in terms of back-to-back promotions? We're going to have to wait and see. I don't know how we're going to match up next season at all, but it's going to be an awful lot of fun finding out. So that's going to basically do it today. We ended on a high. It's been a fantastic first season. Now we get to reshape the squad. Come back next episode, which remember will be next Monday, to see how we've reshaped the squad and what we've got to fight with for next season. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me this season. I hope you're enjoying the ride. Click that like button on this particular episode. That will show me that you're connected to what's going on and really enjoying it. Subscribe to the channel and join my United City community to continue the journey with me. There's loads of ways in which you can join the United City community via Discord and Twitter and Patreon and all sorts of stuff, and all the links to that are in the description below. Until next time though, until next season in Tier 6, take care of yourselves. Have a very, very happy Christmas. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.